So you're a startup visa applicant for Canada and are stuck in the massive backlog processing, or are uncertain whether your startup group meets the criteria to convince the IRCC officer to approve you for your permanent residency. Since there's a lot of discretion used by the IRCC officers in this program to approve or refuse startup visa applicants, you may not want to leave it up to luck to get your PR approved and move your family to Canada. This short video, we will be reviewing all of your possible Plan B options as an essential and non-essential member of a Canadian startup visa group. Hello, my name is Reza and I work with the Intra-company immigration team helping applicants move to Canada. Whether it's for yourself, your kids, your business, or all of the above, we do make it happen. Let me make this clear, I'm not an actual full-time YouTuber, but I work hands-on with our licensed team working on actual application and representing our clients with the Canadian Immigration Department, both inside Canada and overseas embassies on a daily basis. These videos are made for the purpose of sharing our hands-on immigration knowledge with our worldwide audience. If you're thinking about immigrating to Canada, we're here to help. Get a free email assessment for eligible applicants by filling out the form below this video. Here's the list of options as your Plan B for Canadian permanent residency if you're part of a startup visa group. As a non-essential member, you have all the options in the world open to you. You can withdraw anytime without affecting the rest of the group members. So I advise you to have your spouse apply under different streams such as studies or work permit, not dependent on your application. To have it ready in case of a refusal. Switch over to become your spouse's dependent. You can apply for a study permit yourself or for your spouse's study permit since you're a non-essential member. You or your spouse can apply to be hired by a Canadian employer under the PR supported LMIA for your express entry profile or through the provincial nominee program for direct PR. Or you literally have all programs open to you to apply at any point until a decision is rendered by IRCC on your application under the startup visa program. You can make the executive decision yourself to jump ship before or right after. But the key is to have something cooking in the pipeline just in case as your Plan B as a non-essential member. I'm not too worried about non-essential members since they can apply and withdraw at any point without affecting the rest of the startup group members. The tricky part starts with essential members. We will divide this group of essential members for the sake of this video into the ones who are inside Canada already with a work permit and the ones who do not have a work permit yet or have not applied for a work permit. Here will be your Plan B options as essential members of the startup visa group. You already have a closed work permit and are already inside Canada or planning to be soon, then here are your options. Like we've discussed in some of our previous videos, if you have a closed work permit under the startup visa program, run payroll for yourself 12 consecutive months as full-time and can show that you have an executive role such as managing several staff and departments in your startup, then after 12 months, you could potentially claim 200 points in express entry. Or alternatively, without staff, you can claim 50 points after 12 months of continuous payroll. Remember that if you do go through express entry and apply for your PR, you need to withdraw your previous startup visa PR application as you cannot have two concurrent Canadian PR applications. If you're an essential member, then I would wait until a decision is issued by IRCC before you claim these bonus points in express entry. Otherwise, you would disqualify all the rest of your startup group members and they would automatically be refused. Another option for you in this specific category of having a closed work permit under the startup visa program is to apply for Plan B through your spouse or common law partner. What do I mean by this? Well, this is what I suggest. If you're from a visa exempt country such as Europe, UK, Australia, Mexico, Chile, Republic of Korea, Japan, Israel, and so forth, then apply for your spouse or partner from their home country. You would be eligible for a study permit, but not as a dependent of you as a work permit holder. So this study permit would be applied under their own merits independently, completely separate from your application under the startup visa program. You would also need to make sure that in your application you make it clear to the IRCC that they are independently applying. You can also apply for a closed work permit for your spouse or partner if they have a genuine offer of employment from a Canadian company. Again, a closed work permit for your spouse would mean it would be LMIA or LMI exempt and not an open work permit such as a spousal open work permit. If your startup visa PR application does not go the way you expected, then as soon as you receive the decision letter from IRCC and it doesn't look good, you can apply for a spousal open work permit under your spouse's status inside Canada as a worker or a student. And if you're from a high refusal or high volume application region such as China, Vietnam, Taiwan, India, Pakistan, Africa, Middle East, or GCC, then you can apply the same suggestion I just explained, but do it from inside of Canada for your spouse or common law partner. This means that you apply for your spouse or common law partner's spousal open work permit from outside Canada. Then when they're approved and after they're inside Canada with the work permit, then they can convert to a student or worker independent of your status. This means you move them out of the open work permit into a closed work permit based on a specific LMIA or LMI exempt stream. You will need a Canadian employer to offer them a genuine offer of employment inside Canada. The alternative is that as soon as they arrive to Canada with the spousal open work permit, they can also complete a prerequisite for an academic program at a public college or university within the first 6 months of entry into Canada. You apply to convert them to a study permit. You may ask, well, why don't I just apply for a study permit based on my own work permit inside Canada without all these hassles? Well, the answer to that question is that if you, God forbid, have a negative decision as a startup visa applicant by IRCC on your PR application, then if your spouse or partner is also inside Canada with a work permit or study permit based as a dependent of you, they would be cancelled as well. But if you have their own study permit or work permit outside of your status inside Canada, then all you do is submit an application for spousal open work permit under their status as a dependent of them, which makes perfect sense as your plan B. This way you remain in Canada legally and continue to pursue your PR through other programs such as the provincial nominee program, rural programs, regional programs, Atlantic immigration, or through express entry, just to name a few. I have some applicants asking me, what if my spouse cannot find an employer to hire them or doesn't want to study? What options do I have then? Well, the answer is simple. They can apply under one of the LMI exempt programs under the International Mobility Program to start their own business and receive an entrepreneur or self-employed work permit, or even under the C12 for the intra-company transfer if you have an eligible overseas entity that is operational. This would convert your spouse or common law partner to a closed LMI exempt work permit independent of your own closed work permit under the startup visa program. There's many options, and be careful, plan ahead. I know this all sounds a bit wacky, but to be honest with you, the startup visa program and the IRCC is also a little bit wacky. These are suggestions for your backup plan, for you and your family's future in Canada, in case the decision by IRCC is not in your favor. Remember, you have a 50 to 65% chance under this program for approval. So depending on your business, you could be either approved or refused. I would never gamble my family's future, and I'm sure you wouldn't either. You can either take control of your future and have a backup plan, or you can just sit and wait until the IRCC officer issues a decision on your PR application. In case they woke up on the wrong side of the bed that morning, didn't have their coffee, or just had an argument with their spouse, or maybe their pet was just hit by a truck, then you're gonna be on the wrong end of that decision-making spectrum. Take control now of your startup visa future. If you're thinking about immigrating, whether permanently or temporarily, through skilled immigration, the controversial startup visa program, LMI exempt work permits, free trade agreement work permits, study visas, investment, or family sponsorship, well, you're at the right place. I can guarantee only one point. You will know what to expect, the entire process clearly laid out for you, and all the risks identified, including costs. Our legal agreements are based on payment milestones, which is linked directly to your application progression. We do not take 100% advance payment for your Canadian immigration application. There will be no surprises in terms of expenses or costs, just results. Our team speaks over 8 languages and we help applicants from over 47 different countries during the immigration process, and this list is growing every day. Click the link below this video and get a free email assessment for eligible applicants. And if you're ready to apply and would like a one-on-one consultation session with me or any of my immigration team members at Ingway, you can also book a session directly using the consultation link in the description of this video. And of course, if you have questions, remember, we have our weekly live sessions scheduled on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram every Thursday at 11 a.m. North America Eastern Time, where we answer all of your immigration questions for free on the spot. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for updated news on actual IRCC processing times, not the published ones. The latest SUV news, which you cannot find on any other channel. The truth about immigration programs and approval rates no other channel will share with you, and do's and don'ts based on our experience handling our client applications with IRCC both from inside and outside Canada. See you next Thursday on our YouTube Live.